Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Zach, otherwise known as Pulpy, and today I'm up very early. The sun is rising and shining. The birds are chirping and very active. and Amber has uploaded her What I Ate Today Jenny Craig Day 6. So it's only been out for 2 hours. I thought I may as well make use of my time, and instead of trying to get back to sleep, which is almost impossible as we go into summer, particularly in Queensland, because we don't enjoy daylight savings, unfortunately. I thought I'd sit here and do a video. Thank you all so much for your very, very kind words. And for those of you who enjoyed my video yesterday, for those of you who haven't seen it, there might be a link somewhere. But it gives you a lot more of a backstory and an understanding of where I come from in terms of my weight and dealing with my weight and what I decided to do in 2020 to address that. Anyway, with all of that being said, let's get into the video. We're at 1.25 times speed, and here we go, Amber.
Hey guys, so welcome to day 6.
Hey,
I am
Amber.
in a very big rush because I do have an appointment today,
Okay.
and I need to leave in literally 6 minutes. So I'm going to eat my...
We're back to showing the the time in the back. It's 1:24. Very good.
breakfast super quickly. Here is my weigh-ins from day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and today, which is 6, which is going to be the last one.
I still don't get this. I do realize that I believe I may have skipped over the fact that she said when she started that she would be weighing herself for the first 7 days and showing everything for 7 days. So that's this point. But if we go back in time, I'm pretty sure the 7-day trend was at this stage like 10 to 12 days ago. Anyway.
517.8, 515.4, 514.2, 512.6, 511.6.
Hey!
509.2. All right.
Consistently down. That's great.
Of 1%
Oop,
milk.
1% milk.
I don't have this like plated all cute or nothing, because I'm telling you, in an actual rush, I might have to eat in the car. I am having a cinnamon coffee cake. I'm excited to try this, and an apple.
Okay.
It smells so good. It smells like something that you get like from Starbucks. Okay. That is so comforting.
Is it? Let's have a look. I do have it up in front of me. The Jenny Craig cinnamon coffee cake. You'll adore this delicious classic coffee cake that's topped with a perfectly sweet cinnamon and brown sugar crumble. It pairs perfectly with your morning cup of hot coffee. Mornings never tasted so good. So dumb. 170 calories, 5 grams of total fat, 3 grams of dietary fiber, and 4 grams of protein with 29 grams of total carbs. Oh, that would spike my blood sugar. That would just power right to the moon. Having a look. Wow, caffeine. Having a look at the ingredients. The first ingredient is water, which is confusing. The second ingredient is sugar. So not even a low calorie option, just plain sugar. And the third ingredient is whole wheat flour. More flour, eggs. Hey, there might be an egg yolk in there. Brown sugar, margarine. Less than 2%. Again, we've got whey protein concentrate. I've spoken like, if you don't know the story about whey protein concentrate, jump back to day 1, follow me to day 6. There's leavening in there, which is great. There's natural flavor. There's cinnamon, salt, cottonseed oil, and soy lecithin. So there you go. I mean, it looks okay. It looks okay. I'm not the biggest fan of coffee cake, particularly if it doesn't have a moistener through there. I just kind of feel like this would be a little bit dry. I'd prefer to make my own, but that's just me. Anyway, back to you, Amber.
10 out of 10, recommend, and it's warm. All right, you guys, so it's time for meal 2, which is my first snack. So we just got back from my appointment. After I eat this, we actually have quite a few errands to run.
And
So I know
we're
this.
back to not seeing the time. We're back to not seeing the time. My favorite kettle is on in the background. There looks like an orange peel and a wrapper of some kind.
Seems repetitive, but we are having some protein, which I chose cheese stick and chicken lunch meat.
Excellent.
We have ourselves some fruit.
That's an orange. I know it's a
Oh, it was like a
clementine
seed. I thought that was a
slash
bug. I got
mandarin,
scared.
but it's fine.
Just
We're just
small
adding an orange.
And then the fudge brownie chocolate bar thingy-majigger.
Yeah.
So again, I know it's super repetitive, but next week is actually going to be kind of different. I chose some different options.
Nice.
I would do more what I ate today videos, but I'm actually going on a little mini vacation. We're actually going to a cabin in Gatlinburg, and I'm excited, but
Gatlinburg sounds familiar. I feel like Amber and Becky have had a conversation about going there before. Was that the place that Becky really wanted to show Amber, but something about her being too big? Was that a thing? Maybe. I mean, interesting time to go on holiday to a cabin. It's a global pandemic, and even here in Australia, where we've got everything under control, like people are taking breaks, yes, but it's all a little bit, walking on eggshells.
I'm nervous because of everything that's going on right now, but this is a family thing, and it's dedicated to Becky's mom. I'm scared of the pandemic. This is, in celebration of Becky's mom, and because her mom wanted to go. So we're kind of like, it's in memorial to her. It's important. So
how long ago it's Norma, right? Norma is Becky's mom's name. How long ago did she pass? It wasn't that long. 6 months, maybe?
Her birthday is like next week. So.
Yeah, and her birthday is next week. So that is why we're going. And I'm not going to vlog or anything because it's going to be like personal. So there's going to be like no what I ate today videos. But if you guys do enjoy these, I could do more of them. Just let me know. Hey, you guys.
I'm a really big fan. Oh, we're back to time. Someone help me out. I don't think it's 1:57 because it was 1:52 before her appointment, so that must be 7:50, right? 7:52 p.m. I'll assume. There looks like a bag in the background, or maybe that's the same wrapper. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I really like. Genuinely, Amber. Genuinely, I really like these. They're small, bite-sized, no pun intended, easy to consume snapshots into the things she ate that day. And as someone who watches what they eat quite closely, this is really useful and quite entertaining and quite educational and makes me think about things within my own diet, and it seems to be working for her. 2 binges and a mukbang aside, it seems to be working with her. Like she's trying to get back on that wagon, which is great. She's found things that she enjoys. I don't necessarily agree with Jenny Craig, but if they're low calorie options and she can stick to 2,000 calories a day, she will see the weight fall off. She will see it fall off. And she can explore eating lean proteins and vegetables and cooking for herself in, 6 months' time, maybe, if she can keep that up. I think it'd be hard because with the amount of like sweets essentially in this, I think it would be hard to say like no to things that aren't Jenny Craig and therefore kind of sabotaging yourself. But I really like this. I think if she did like 3 or 4 days together and just showed us absolutely everything, that might be really boring. I'd still be here for it because I enjoy it. Anyway.
So it's time for meal 3, which is my lunch. We are having a huge salad as per usual. I put onion.
It is lunch at 7:50. It's gotta be. That's not 1. That's gotta be 7. Anyway.
It's balsamic vinaigrette.
Yeah,
it's going
lunch.
to be
Big salad.
delish. And then I have half of a banana. And today we have a turkey burger on top of a potato bun.
Oh, nice.
So all I did, because honestly,
well, not nice.
I can eat my things plain.
Potato
I just
bun,
wanted
nice.
a little bit of spicy mustard. See?
Ooh.
So let's try a bite. And by the way, this smells really good. Like the meat, you can tell that it's seasoned. All right, let's do it.
There it is. Jenny Craig turkey burger. A succulent turkey patty flavored with onions and peppers, served with a soft potato roll. This photo looks quite a bit different. This photo, they've added what looks like either mustard or cheese. I can't be sure. Tomato, lettuce, pickle, like they've actually made a burger out of it. This frozen out of the box burger is clearly not dressed at all, but that's okay. 280 calories, 9 grams of total fat, 1 gram dietary fiber, 15 grams of protein, and 34 grams of total carbs. That's a whole heap of carbohydrates for me, and the assumption is that it's in the potato bun. Yeah, I would, for me, I would just have the turkey patty in like a lettuce wrap, or I would just, I would never buy a pre-made turkey burger. I would just make my own patty. But I would turn it into something like Sancho Bao, or again, yeah, eat it without the bun. Okay, in the ingredients, we have the turkey patty itself, which is turkey, I don't know what percentage, but having that low, it's probably like 2% with the amount of fat in there, maybe 5. Onion, water, green bell pepper, milk, egg whites, celery, textured wheat protein, breadcrumbs, flour, nothing too interesting. There's garlic, potato starch, chicken fat, Worcestershire powder. I still can't pronounce it, guys. I'm really sorry. Worcestershire. What? Don't feel like embarrassing myself this early in the morning. There is a sauce with corn syrup in it, because why not? And sugar and things. Salt, spices. In the potato roll, we have flour, water, high fructose corn syrup, potato flour, eggs, 2% or less of yeast, salt, dough conditioner. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing highly unexpected or interesting really in this. But I would not be eating this kind of, to be honest, really sad looking turkey burger. If you're gonna do it, like, you know what goes great with turkey? Avocado. Chuck some avocado on there, chuck some tomato on there, like, you know, get it dressed. Oh well.
So good. I feel like the more I get accustomed to these meals, the more I can like experiment a bit. Like when I get the turkey burger again, I can add onion, I can add lettuce.
Hey guys, so I stopped filming after this because
we still have 3.5 minutes. Okay, my prediction is that, hey guys, I know I binged, I fell off the wagon again. I don't know how you spread that out to 3.5 minutes, but I'm going to take a moment to input her balsamic dressing that she had on that salad. We'll get to this. I don't know why I'm bothering, because I won't be able to finish the day. But let me know in the comments below what your favorite salad dressing is. Mine's Italian, I think. Yeah, Italian, or I just make my own. Yeah.
I did overeat. Some will call it a binge. And
I mean, you're the one who did it, and you're clearly not going to show us what it was. So I feel like when we talk about the term binge, it kind of comes down to semantics and subjective language, because it really doesn't make, like, I hate saying stuff like this because it makes me feel like an asshole. But your binge and my binge is probably different. Do I recognize that I have disordered eating? in some ways, yes. And do I reflect on it and recognize it previously? Yes, definitely. But I don't think I'd ever sit here and be like, well, guys, I had a binge last night. Like, I don't define those moments of overeating as binges. I define me eating stuff outside of what I recognize as my control. I don't call that a binge. I just call that overeating because that's what I did. Usually it's, I'll make a conscious decision to have one scone, and then 20 minutes later I've eaten 9 scones and I feel sick. And is it a binge? No, it's just me wanting to eat something tasty, and I've overeaten something because I've had one small thing, and then I haven't been able to say no to the 8 other small things. This is just an argument of semantics. So I know I've had conversations in the past about binges and binge eating, but I truly think that it's just really subjective language.
That's okay. And normally I'll come on here and tell you guys that it happened, and I won't tell you what I ate. So I figured this time I will. I wish I would have taken maybe like a picture or something, but...
Or vlogged it.
I didn't know I was actually going to tell you guys what.
Although, with YouTube doing what it's doing at the moment, I don't think you could in good faith sit here and be like, well, I binged and here's the footage. And she's never, I think her argument has always been, I've never shown a binge. I think that's both Amber's and Chantel's arguments for no, I'm not binging. I'm just mukbanging and I'm just overeating. And there's a difference. Okay.
It was. I was going to tell you guys it happened because that's the point of these videos, but I wasn't going to tell you guys like what it was. I didn't think that mattered, but I figured y'all can know.
Yeah, please.
So it was probably 10 minutes after the meal that I showed you guys.
So like 8 o'clock?
Where
8 p.m.?
I was like, I'm so hungry. I need all the food. And I was like telling Becky, I just want something unhealthy. Like,
I'm very fortunate that at this stage in my weight loss, I've moved past the I just want something healthy. I just want something unhealthy, mindset. That was a real struggle for me when it began, because I would purposefully buy only whole foods, only healthy food, and I wouldn't have processed food in the house. And then I'd be sitting there and be like, well, you know, my grocery store's only a 20-minute walk up the road. I could walk up the road. I could get a bag of chips. I could bring it back. But that feeling for me always went away quite quickly. And I reasoned with myself, because I'm an adult. I reasoned with myself and said, look, it's a 20-minute walk. You're going to go up there. You're going to eat this thing. You're going to undo half a day's worth of good work. So how about we find something that's relatively healthy that will, you know, treat that feeling that you have. So if it's, I want something sweet, okay, great. Let me see if I can make like a yogurt with peanut butter and blueberries and whey protein, so it can fill me up, but it can also taste sweet. If I wanted something salty and savory, I've got nutritional yeast and I've got salt and I've got popcorn. I'll have half a serve of that. You know, it is higher in carbs, but it's like, it's me wanting that sensation of like a bag of chips, for instance. Yeah, it's all about finding things that work for you, and not everything is going to work for everybody. But a diet is by nature, well, it is just what you eat, but a restrictive diet is by nature restrictive. So you kind of have to realize that going in.
I just kept saying it repeatedly, and Becky was like, no, don't do it. Like, she was there for me, and she was comforting and sweet.
Curious. We have been questioning Becky's involvement in this entire Jenny Craig situation. So it is interesting that she's bringing this up. If true, which I don't want to doubt that, that's great. Becky should absolutely be encouraging. I would find it really, really hard if my significant other were not actively supporting, if not involved in something as large as a diet diet and lifestyle change. I am very fortunate that my housemate was very supportive, and after the first month or so, he was like, hey, you've lost a lot of weight, like, what are you doing? And we kind of sat down and talked through it, and I showed him what I did, and he kind of figured out his own thing, which is great, and he's lost like 20 kilos as well. So, yeah, I mean, good for Becky. Good for Jenny.
I wasn't listening to her. So I ordered PF Chang's, and I got Kung Pao chicken, which comes obviously with the Kung Pao chicken. It, has a really delicious sauce. It's kind of spicy. There's some peanuts in it, celery. I love it. And it comes with a side of rice. And it's not like an abundance of food. It's good for like one person. And I normally don't ever finish the Kung Pao chicken. I always leave like the bigger pieces of chicken because bigger pieces of chicken kind of gross me out. So
what are you... Does it, guys, sound off in the comments below if big pieces of chicken freak you out. Like, how? Perhaps it's one of those things where she's experienced it being undercooked because thicker pieces of meat obviously take longer to cook all the way through. I know she's a bit of a texture aficionado. so that I could understand, but just like if you have a big piece of chicken sitting in your Chinese food, just take a knife and cut it open and stir it through and you're good to go. Anyway, I've got it here. They're all a lot we're gonna go with this one to make it kind of suitable. She hasn't told us how much rice there is, so and whether or not it was if it was fried rice or if it was just white rice. I will give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's white rice because that's what she normally eats. Cooked white rice, and American portions are hard. Probably 1 full cup at least. Yeah.
So that would have been totally fine, and that wouldn't have been like a binge. But I think it was 2 hours later, I could not stop thinking about McDonald's French fries.
What? What was the craving? What was the brief for the brain to say, like, I want savory food, I want salt. Maybe it was salt. I mean, looking at what she's eaten, there probably isn't a whole heap of sodium. No, not really. So perhaps she was experiencing her brain's trigger for salt or savory or umami flavors because she was low on sodiums. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I don't know how you could go from Kung Pao chicken and rice into 2 hours later craving, she said it, McDonald's fries. Also, McDonald's fries are not it. Like, they're practically just hollow shells of potato and salt. Okay, you gonna tell us how big of it was?
Absolutely ridiculous, and something came over me. I couldn't control it, and I got 2 large fries, which I don't know why, because I never eat 2 large fries. Ooh. And I did get the 2 large fries, and I still didn't eat the second large fry. I just ate 1 large fry.
Well,
and then I got 20-piece nugget, which I only ate the outside of it. I know that's like totes weird. So I ended up having
totes my goats. Oh, I'm old. She only ate the outside of it. Is she 5? That came off rude. My apologies. But so I was speaking to a friend of mine who has recently given birth, and I was saying, what's the deal with food as they grow up? Because I didn't necessarily have a broad palate growing up, but my mum was always interested in cooking, and although she never really had a lot of time, she would always kind of be like, oh, we'll do like Indian one night, and it was always like butter chicken from a jar, and it was delicious. She's not making it from scratch. She's not a chef, but she's doing her best, and I thank her every day for introducing me to interesting foods. Although that has been a rocky road for me. But my friend was telling me, like, you do have to introduce things slowly, and there are kind of bumps and hurdles, and you know, I still remember tomato was a big thing for me. I hated tomato, and I did. Like, it just didn't work. And I remember sitting at a table, I must have been maybe 10, and my mum was like, well, you like tomato sauce, so why don't you try tomatoes again? We'll cook them in a different way, whatever. So she roasted some tomatoes because that was her favorite way of having them. And I thinking I would outsmart my taste buds, looked on the back of the tomato sauce packet and read the ingredients, and then got everything. So I got like salt and sugar and pepper and like a spice or something. And I put them all out on the table, and she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just gonna use the ingredients from the tomato sauce on the tomato so that it tastes like tomato sauce. She was like, no, just use salt. But that, you kind of expand your palate, right, as a child, and it's heavily influenced obviously by what your parents are cooking, because they're the ones providing for you. So I had this conversation with my friend who said, well, you know, things like McDonald's and chicken nuggets will kind of be in limited supply because we both work in experience, and from our experience, the amount of times we have spoken to parents who say, no, well, he only eats or she only eats like fish and chips or chicken nuggets. That's all they eat. And it's like, are you just saying that because you're out to a restaurant and that's all your child eats, or is that all your child eats at home? Because if so, we have an obesity epidemic, right? Maybe no more chicken nuggies. Okay, let's put this in while I'm waxing philosophical. Donald's 20-piece chicken nugget. $20-piece chicken nuggety. I have two. That's probably the correct one. Maybe. Okay.
I put chicken from PF Chang's, and then I had a 20-piece nugget, but I only ate the outside of the nugget, not the inside of the nugget, and then a large fry. So that's what happened, and
I'm counting two.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm here to be honest, but I do want to say Jenny Craig honestly might be hands down the best weight loss diet that I have ever tried. And just because I am making mistakes, it doesn't mean that it's Jenny Craig's fault. It's my fault, obviously. I've talked about this in a video before.
Yeah.
We don't really need to go into more detail with it right now.
Jenny Craig's just
but I just wanted to update you guys on that. And
although that being said, like, I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I understand that Amber has a meal plan that she's following because she needs to pre-purchase the food and then she kind of eats her own thing. It might be more beneficial that instead of just investing in a coverall solution, which is what Jenny Craig is, because it's not tailored to Amber. It's tailored to her tastes in that she's chosen the snacks and the food that she'll have, but it's not based on a 500-pound individual. It's not based on someone who has a palate as narrow as Amber's seems to be. And it's not designed for someone who has elements of troubled eating, right? It's just a diet, and it is set calories, and you are expected to follow it. It's not really a wonder that now Amber has overeaten or binged, however we want to label it, 3 times in a week, maybe. Plus Panera. It's not surprising at all. Is it better that she's at least trying? Yes. And a week is probably not a long enough time to say, well, it doesn't work. I would probably suggest at least 2 weeks. But yeah, it would be really hard coming out of this week into a new one and reflecting back and being like, well, 50% of the time I was overeating. So, like, that thing that she mentioned a couple of days ago where she said, I'm going to book in and see a therapist, I think would be very beneficial. And I think she needs to get a better understanding of her relationship with food and kind of address that, if not before, then definitely at the same time as being on on perhaps a more curated diet.
I truly am enjoying Jenny Craig. And if my brain and my mental state and my relationship with food was a little bit more normal, I don't think we would always be having this problem. So anyways, I hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, Amber. Right. Well, that was, half of a video was me staring at that thanks for watching. I've made the joke in the thumbnail before, so I don't know if I can do it again. I'm not going to have a broad selection of imagery to choose from, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm going to jump into my fitness pal and one moment. Okay, so looking at Amber's food diary for today, if I've updated it to kind of be a little bit fairer in regards to 1 large fry instead of 2, and also her saying that she perhaps just ate around the chicken nuggets or whatever. The 1 cup of rice is probably up for debate. If you're in America, please let me know how large an average serve of PF Chang rice is. I don't know. I know they have like those family packs that like family sizes that are probably more like 2 cups. Let me know. I mean, it started out so well. It really did. If, like, all of this is ballpark, and again, it's a vlog where she didn't tell us what she would, like, she didn't show us the rest of the half of the day. And I really think that her sleep schedule, fixing that would help, her binging. And putting more, maybe not necessarily just the sleep structure, but putting structure into her life, and that would help, I think. The calories we totaled out at 3,050. This profile's daily goal for 1 kilogram of weight loss at Amber's current size is 2,700. So the days where she was eating 1,700, she was killing it. Like that would have been around a third of a pound. I don't know what that equates to per day, because to lose a pound of fat, it is a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories is the general science. It's not always 100% because bodies are fun, but you get the idea. Her carbohydrate levels, were within the recommended for this profile. Her fats were substantially higher, and her proteins were around where it needed to be. She hit her fiber goal, which is great. The concern here is the sodiums, and obviously it's the Kung Pao chicken and the McDonald's that are pushing all of that way high, which is what made me think originally her body perhaps was shouting out for sodium, because if we look at the day before, it may have been a little less sodium filled, and perhaps she's reliant on that. Yeah, so looking at yesterday's, I think this was right. Looking at yesterday's, it was only 2,600. So maybe something was going on there. I don't know. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot. Anyway, it is disappointing that ultimately she has fallen off the wagon again. I have hopes that she will continue and that she will move into the therapy sphere after her kind of breakaway. I wouldn't necessarily be going on holiday at the moment. It's especially if you were not also going to be vlogging, that makes it all the more, I guess, nonsensical for me. But what do I know? Anyway, thank you so much for getting to this point in the video. If you did, as always, I appreciate your comments, opinions, and eyeballs, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.